Hello there, this is Cindy at cindybdesigns.com. Thank you for joining me today. I am featuring June 2019 Paper Pumpkin, and the blog post coordinated with this video I will have a link to. Click on it and go to my blog, and I will have more pictures, better ones than you can see on video, and a lot of information about Paper Pumpkin that I would like to share with you. And especially for July's kit, because I want to make this a feature the last Saturday of every month, to where we'll make the kit. Maybe though, it depends on what it is. Like this kit we're not going to make together, and I'll tell you why. And then do a couple alternatives. So this is this month's kit, and it's just the cutest thing ever. You make 4 each of all 4 of these designs. 16 cards. You get 8 Old Olive envelopes, Coastal Cabana. The other color is Crumb Cake, and I thought this thing was just adorable. It's this little pocket, and it's really sturdy too, that you put them in, and it's great for gifts, and which is what I'm going to do. So I figure at the end of the month as well, I always have one of these left over, and I will just go ahead and send it to you. So leave a comment underneath the YouTube description. I'm going to tell you what's in this kit, and I'm going to read it because I've really dissected it and torn it apart, and it's everywhere right now, all over the desk. So we went over the colors, but I have found 7 stamp sets right off the bat in the catalog that this is going to coordinate with, and that's going to be Seaside Notions, Sail Away, Waterfront, Lily Pad Lake, Friend Like You, High Tide, and Tropical Chic, including their coordinating dies. So this one is definitely a keeper. This is the stamp set, and you get some good size images in here. That little medallion is, you know, it's an inch, and they're really easy to fussy cut too. Back to what we get in the kit, because I don't like doing live videos, but I don't have time to edit either, I'm sorry. That stamp set's called A Little Smile, and you will get a Coastal Cabana stamping spot, and I have already put mine away, and that's what that looks like. I normally use my full-size ink pads and just keep those for on the fly or whatever. Giveaways, 16 card bases, and this is what they look like. And these are little mini cards too. They're 2 1/4 by 3 1/2, it looks like. And then here's what the envelopes look like. 17 vellum die cut pieces, which is the little, I'm going to call it a seaweed. One sheet laser cut elements. That is this, and there's the die cuts of these little stars. No, sand dollars and starfish. Save this too. You know why? Because I'm going to take my paper trimmer and just cut all these edges off and then use them as accents or whatever. 2 sheets laser cut elements. Okay, what was that? Die cut labels. These. The storage envelope. Linen thread, and I have really gone through the glue dots that they come up with. So I'm going to go through the cards real quick, and we're not going to make them together, and I'll tell you why. because all you're going to see me do is take adhesive off and put it together. And that's boring. So here's an example. I would just go ahead and take this card here, glue dot everything up on the back like I have, and I'll just be peeling off glue dots. There, I'm done. That's how easy these cards are to make. It takes more time putting on the glue dots and off the glue dots than anything else, but it's cute. And of course you have to stamp your sentiment there. So that is what that looks like. And then the second one is going to be, and I didn't show you these dies or punch outs that came with it. You get two different palm trees, and I'm Butterfingers. And we're going to do this in one of the alternative cards that I'm going to make up on the fly. Believe me, really on the fly. So here's this one. And this card front, this is all already there. Then we're going to flip it around this way. And last, and that's where that little medallion that comes in. I mean, just the cutest things ever, and really, really easy to do. In our first alternative card, it's going to be A2 landscape. So it's 5.5 across, 4.25 down. And I have a piece of very vanilla cardstock. I've already adhered the top of the crumb cake to it, just to save a little bit of time. And one of the coordinating stamp sets is Sea Textures, and these under the sea die cuts I'm going to be using coordinate, but in one of the paper pumpkin dies, this die, and this comes in the kit so it's already cut out, lines up perfectly with this die cut in under the sea. So I thought I would pass that along to you. So I knew in my head that this top panel of crumb cake is around 3 3/4 by 4 3/4, somewhere around there. So I went ahead and marked it halfway through, and in some of these embellishments that you receive in the paper pumpkin kit, they go both ways. So I separated them out into, you know, left and right. I went ahead and put the glue dots on them, and I want to build like this little bed of greenery. And when you do that, and that's why I have everything adhered first, or the adhesive down, because these things are tiny, and with the backing on it, it takes some time to get off. I want to center this in here, and I only put one on the back. And I'm going to, I put it in the middle, because that way I can sneak. Okay, hello there. I had to stop everything and do a voiceover, and I swore I would get this up today, and here I am. So I am taking Under the Sea die cuts, and they're intricate, so I put down my precision base plate and put it through there. And I started to edit this a couple hours ago, then I went downstairs and had dinner, so, you know, now of course I forget everything that I'm doing. And I'm pulling the die out here. I didn't use any wax paper this time. And that is a new brush that you put on the end of your Take Your Pick. And you pull out the gummy part of it that you use to adhere sequins or other little sticky things. And I'm just getting all of what I call the innards out, basically. And that brush is fantastic. And I need to get a second tool so I can leave a brush end on one and then still have a pokey tool. And I wanted to save that inside star from the starfish there. So I cut out the netting from crumb cake. I cut that out. And I have a sponge dabber filled with just some leftover crumb cake or early espresso ink. I normally grab something when I do some sponging that matches. It doesn't have to be dead on, but it just kind of depends. I do remember explaining how I laid down the greenery there, and you start towards the left or towards the right at the far sides and then work your way in and then stack on top. And then I snuck in that net underneath there, and that is tone on tone, and it needed a little bit of a pick up there, and that's why I did the sponging, and you can tell that it really needed it. So I'm tucking in my sand dollars, and they are on from the kit, and the large one is die cut from Glimmer paper. And to finish the card off, I'm just taking some of our pearls and then popping them in the middle. And I kept this card as well as my next card very neutral, but there was a ton of different embellishments. You could color them up with the blends. You could use sequins. There's the new peacock rhinestones. I mean, there's just options. So I put the dimensionals on the back. You know my trick about the thumbnail in them. Lined everything up, and that is our card. And I didn't want to put a sentiment on it. I will do that sometimes just to give me more options. So for this card here, it's actually going to be a 4x4 square Christmas card. I have no idea why that is on my brain, but it just kind of came up. The palm leaves, the die cut palm leaves in the paper pumpkin for June reminded me that I can put them together in a wreath. And you can do the same thing with the Tropical Chic stamp set as well. So that is Old Olive, and I pulled out the sand dollar and the starfish images, and I'm just stamping it off a lot. The very top one I got too dark, but I can creatively cover that. And I'm going around that punched out circle that I use as my template, which is from the 2-inch punch. So I have all of that down, and I did explain how I only put one glue dot on the back, because that way when I go around the wreath and everything, I can fluff up the edges. I can just sneak things underneath there. You can make this wreath as thick as you want. I could have incorporated, again, the Tropical Chic dies that have that beautiful palm leaf in it. And I'm so glad that carried over, because I will be using that a lot for Christmas. So that is how my wreath turned out. I didn't build it up too much. And I am going to be, well, I brought in my Stamparatus. And now I'm just getting everything lined up. I'm going to put the little Merry sentiment in the middle and get that all straight, and pick it up at the door, do the usual, check it out, make sure everything's good. And I don't remember what color ink I used. Memento, yeah, it's right in front of my face. It's late. And I had a road trip, went to Kentucky, it was awesome. I love that place. I love the South. And I really have no idea what I'm doing there. Okay, cleaning up a mess I made. So I got the Mary down, let it sit for a minute like I always do, because these were on the fly, and I'm just kind of processing, thinking what I'm going to be doing next. And now that we have everything laid down, I have my dimensionals on the back. I'm pulling those up, I'm going to pull back in our crumb cake base and get that all centered up from top to bottom, left to right. And I have some braided linen trim there. And I leave it on the ends like that all the time, kind of pre-tied in a bow. And I'm going to put that at the very bottom of our little wreath there, using a glue dot and just kind of pretty much cram it all down there. You know, because I want it to stick. I'll get everything trimmed up. But in the meantime, I brought in, and the package is like right in front of me. I can't even read it because it's dark. I turned the hall light on because it is hot, like boob sweat hot, humid, and I'm upstairs. I don't know what they're called because I can't see either. But I do have a supply list. So there's 2 different sizes of those dots I don't know the name of. And I put them on, and then I added some smaller metallic gold gems just to kind of change it up a little bit. But it looks great in person. And you want to fluff up your greenery there again. So those are 2 alternative projects that we made, and those are the 4 that come in the kit. So if you want your own, leave a comment. Thank you so much for joining me. God bless. Please hit like and subscribe, and I will see you early blog post tomorrow and Thursday, and again on for simple stamping on Saturday. Have a good one. Take care.